All right, welcome. We're about to crack a code, one you're actually using every single day, and you probably don't even realize it. Yeah, I'm talking about the language of limits, rules, and boundaries. It's not just for your parents or your boss, it's actually math in disguise. And today, we are going to decode it together. Just think about it for a second. Are you one of those people who needs at least 2 cups of coffee just to function in the morning? Or maybe you've been told you have no more than 1 hour of screen time. See, these phrases, they set boundaries, and that is exactly what we're diving into. You're already speaking math. You just didn't know it.
Okay, so let's make this official. From this moment on, we are code breakers. Our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to translate these everyday phrases into the universal language of math, with all the symbols. And of course, every good code breaker needs a decoder key, right?
And here it is. This is our official decoder key. Honestly, this little table is our secret weapon for every single puzzle we're going to tackle. It's like the Rosetta Stone for math. So when you hear at least, you're going to think greater than or equal to. You hear no more than, and you know it's less than or equal to. Pretty simple, right? All right, let's put this thing to use. Okay, team, it is time to open our very first case files. We're going to start with the basics. Just some simple addition and subtraction to get the hang of our new code-breaking skills. First up, a classic case of supply and demand.
So here's the situation. We've got Joseph, and he has a pretty big goal. He needs at least 150 sacks of grain. Right now, he's got 90 sacks already stored away. So the big question is, how many more does he need to go get? The biggest clue, as always, is hidden right there in the language.
And boom, there it is, our keyword, at least. So what do? We go right back to our decoder key. And what does it say? At least means the amount can be exactly 150, or it can be more. That translates directly to our greater than or equal to symbol. See how that works? Okay, this next part is absolutely crucial, setting it up. Step 1, we write the inequality. So the 90 sacks he already has, plus x, that's our mystery number of sacks he still needs, has to be greater than or equal to 150. Step 2, we just solve for x. A little subtraction, take 90 through both sides, and we've got our answer.
And case solved. Joseph needs to gather at least 60 more sacks of grain. So what does that really mean? It means 60 is the bare minimum. He could get 61, 70, 100, anything more than 60 works. He's met his goal.
All right, let's keep the momentum going. On to our next case file. Now this one's a little different. This time, we're not trying to meet a minimum. We're dealing with a maximum, a hard limit. So Moses has a strict rule. He can lead no more than 300 people. He's already got 75 who have gone ahead. So how many more can join the group?
Okay, so what's our keyword here? No more than. Let's do a quick check on our decoder key. Yup, it tells us this means the number can be exactly 300 or anything less. So we're going to use the less than or equal to symbol. Are you seeing the pattern here? It really is all about that translation.
And just like that, another case in the books. The 75 people already there, plus our mystery number x, has to be less than or equal to that 300-person limit. A little quick math, and we find out x has to be less than or equal to 225, so he can lead exactly 225 more people, or any number less than that. Easy.
So let's just pause for a second and compare these first 2 cases. It's kind of cool, right? They're really just 2 sides of the same coin. Joseph's at least set a floor. That was the minimum he had to hit. But Moses's no more than set a ceiling, a maximum limit he absolutely could not go over.
All right, you've totally got the hang of addition and subtraction. So I think it's time to level up our code-breaking skills. We're heading into the world of multiplication now. But hey, don't worry. Our trusty decoder key, it works exactly the same way. Okay, here we go, case file number 3. This time we've got Ruth. She's out working in the fields and she's set a goal for herself. She wants to gather more than 20 bundles of grain. Now, she's got a steady pace. She can collect 4 bundles every hour. So the puzzle is, how many hours does she need to work to actually beat her goal?
And guess what? The process is exactly the same. Our keyword is more than, which our key tells us translates to the greater than symbol. So we write it out. 4 bundles per hour times x hours has to be greater than 20. Then we solve it. Divide both sides by 4, and we see that x has to be greater than 5. So to beat her goal, she has to work for more than 5 hours.
Okay, so far everything has been pretty straightforward, right? The math gives us a nice, clean answer, but sometimes the real world throws in a little twist. Sometimes the number you get from the math isn't the final answer. You need to use a little bit of logic to find the real solution.
So let's tackle our final case, the case of Solomon's gold. Here's the deal. He's got 250 gold coins, and he has one very important rule. Every single servant he pays must get at least 20 coins. So the big question is, what's the maximum number of servants he can actually pay?
Okay, let's just run the numbers. 20 coins per servant times X number of servants has to be less than or equal to his total of 250 coins. That means 20X is less than or equal to 250. We divide 250 by 20 and we get X is less than or equal to 12.5. And there it is. There's the twist. The math gives us 12.5. But wait a minute, this is a real-world problem. Can you have half a servant? No, of course not. So the math gave us a number, but now we have to use our common sense to get the real answer. So which way do we go? We have to round down to 12. And here's why. If he tried to pay 13 servants, he wouldn't have enough gold to give each of them that required 20 coins. He'd run short. So the real practical answer is 12. He can give 12 servants the full amount.
And just like that, you've done it. You've seen how to take everyday words, translate them into math symbols, solve the puzzle, and even apply that crucial real-world logic at the end. You have officially cracked the code.
You know, every single one of these case files was just a puzzle waiting for a solution. And this verse really speaks to that same idea, the idea of facing challenges head-on. It's all about finding that strength to work through whatever puzzle is in front of you, whether it's a math problem or something much bigger in life.
So I'm going to leave you with this to think about. Take a look at your own life. Think about your schedule, your budget, your goals. What's a daily limit or a requirement that you have? I bet you can now write it out in the language of math, because the code really is everywhere. And now you know how to read it.